Good day everyone. My name is Jovin Dihaka, a basic student in Visayas State University. I want to discuss the sexual self learning objective. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to first descend your sexuality both physically and psychologically. Develop respect to people belong to different sexual orientation and gender identity and expression and understanding the responsibility of an adult through sex education. Motivation task. If if I were a boy and girl, if you are biologically male, use the female gender swap filter. If you are biologically female, use the male gender swap filter. Refer to the illustration below. Sa inyo natanaw na, 'di ba? Ang bayi nahimog laki, ang bayi nahimog ang laki nahimog bayi. Erogenous zone. Things as simple as areas on the bodies where we are supposed to feel sexual pleasure would end up with incorrect and even and times dangerous beliefs. It is important to have basic knowledge on what actually causes sexual pleasure to women. A person's erogenous zones are places on the body in which there is a concentration of nerve endings. Example, if you are a man and you believe that the size of your genitalia is a major indicator of masculinity and your ability to please your sexual partner. The human sexual response, the holy grail of survival amongst any no species on earth in sex. But what makes human among a few other species special is that the act of copulation is not only way that we present ourselves sexually. Biological influences. Example would be the hormones that circulate through your body, such as testosterone, androgen, estrogen, and progesterone. Social and psychological, these two factors usually work together. Social factors like family, religions, and culture may affect our sexual motivation. In the same way, psychological factors like personality and emotional do. According to William Masters and Virginia Johnson, 1966, sexual activity is a cycle which consists mainly of four phases. First, excitement, desire, and arousal. As the first phase in the cycle is divided into two, desire happens when you feel sexual organs. After perceiving sexual cues or fantasies, on the other hand, arousal shows several psychological signs in both male and female. And two, plateau. These are usually the brief period before orgasms. At this point, you are almost the peak of sexual pleasure. And the third, orgasms. In a mean, there is a feeling of inevitability of ejaculation followed by ejaculation itself. In females, there is the feelings of intense sexual pleasure and contraction on the lower third of the vagina. And the last, resolution, usually characterized by the decreased arousal and sexual urge after ejaculation, which is most commonly seen in males. On you are the three resolution phase, you enter a center refractory stage where you are no longer receptive to sexual stimuli. The chemistry of love. A person, contrary to popular beliefs, does not actually use his and her heart in process of loving someone. Not though they even fall in love at the first sight. There are there are three stages of chemistry of love. First, lust. Second, attraction. And lastly, attachment. What is lust? Lust is the estrogen and testosterone testosterone in our body elicit these feelings of lust and tricks us woman into the act of copulation as an evolutionary response. For example, when you saw your crush as the colder and you think it was a love and first sight, but it's not. It is a cold of lust. And second, attraction. What is attraction? This is a blast of feelings where you think you're in love. Uh, for example, for example, for example, the old saying that love is blind. Love is blind. Yeah. Your friends judge moingon na ngano na in love ka na in love ka because of the way you feel, or wa ka nagbase sa unsa na makita sa lain tao kundi sa imo na feel attraction. And lastly, attachment. What is attachment? It's a strong feelings of affection or loyalty toward someone or some things. For example, muna ni katong kung magkasinabot na mo, maabot na mo sa engagement or mga pwede na nimo ma-share mga basta pwede na ma-engagement na namin. Psychology of mate selection. The big question has always been, why him or why her? Since we are marvel of the idea of why we fall or a specific person. Evolutionary psychology. Simple put in this way, males fare widely while females fare wisely. Example, most men find woman with smooth skin, wide hips, large and breasts, and physically youthful, shape more attractive. While women, on the other hand, usually prefer men who are competitive, responsible, and has the capacity to provide. The diversity of sexual behavior. Sex is a simply the biological indicator that is based on our reproductive organ. What is gender? Gender is a more of a contract relating to role based on several characteristics like masculinity, femininity, and sex itself. The lack of knowledge in sexuality and gender aspect of SOGI. Sexual orientation, individual based on who they find sexually. Gender identity, how a person identifies based on one internal sense of self. Gender expression, how you would express attributes that relates to gender. Methods of contraception and sexually transmitted infection. Birth control, also known as a contraception. Use of method or devices to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Sexually transmitted infection you can get by having sex with someone who has infection. For example, you can use a condom, UAD, uterine devices, pills, injectables, implant, and others. These contraceptive methods like the condom also reduce the risk of incurring sexually transmitted diseases like chlamydia and gonorrhea. May is easy in infect areas or our body like the mouth, cervix, and rectum. They can be treated through to the use of antibiotic. And that's all. Thank you.